Hey guys, today we're talking about this F2L case where the edge that goes with it is back here and flipped. How a lot of people do this case is by rotating and then pairing them up intuitively, and then rotating again and inserting. Today I'll show you how to do this case from any angle without a rotation. The first intuitive thing to understand about this is that when we have this case, if you are to move the edge so that the corner is then pointing at it like this, then you do have a setup case, and then you can insert. And then afterwards, you do have to restore that cross edge from that one move in the beginning. So for some of the inserts, we will be doing that, but you have to make sure you do the finger tricks well because the finger tricks for this are not very good. It's only faster if you know good finger tricks for it. At any time, if you want to go look at the finger tricks tutorial to know what you should be able to do, then go check that out. So starting off with the corner here, we just want the edge up here. So we're going to do B prime with the regrip first like that, and then insert, and then reverse the B like that. So of course, make sure you can do that reverse B move, otherwise there's really no good way of doing the B move. And faster would be like this. Now for this case, again, same moves, but different finger tricks. So for this case, after you do this, do their setup, and we're gonna insert like this, and make sure you don't do U here because that requires a regrip. Make sure you do U with your left hand like this. Now here we have to figure out a way to do F prime. And there are a few ways that the ones that don't work is this. It does work, but it's not going to be fast because we've just finished doing a U push here. The other way we could do it is like this, although I don't personally like it because after this, you have to find your finger in the right spot here and there's no time to set it up. It's really easy to make a mistake here. Then another way is F prime with your thumb here. This is pretty good. And then another way is F prime like this. And if that looks weird, it's the same thing as this one-handed turn. And faster, it would look like this. Now from this angle, here later I'm going to suggest a different way of doing this, but for now I'm just going to follow the same rules we're using, and that is by setting up with F prime first. Now we don't want to do F prime with our right thumb because then it's not really a good position to be doing U afterwards, considering where your thumb and where your index finger are in order to do that move. So if you put your left pinky underneath the S slice, then you can use your index finger here, or you can use your left thumb like this. And then very straightforward, just insert these. And then afterwards, either left thumb to finish, or preferably if you're right-handed and prefer not to use that move, then you can use your right hand, make sure your pinky is underneath the S slice, and do the same thing there. And then that'll look like this. So now from the final angle, from right here, we're going to do this to set them up, and then now we need a B move, and again, it's not a very nice spot to be doing a B move, so we're not going to regrip and do B like that. We're just going to use our left hand and push back right here, or push right here, but pushing back right here is probably going to be easier. And then afterwards, just U, B prime, L. So again, faster would be like this. So now when the corner is oriented the other way, I'll quickly run through the finger tricks for these. They're exactly the same, but with the other hand. So starting with the first case like this again. And then from this angle, make sure you do this reverse push. And then from this angle, make sure your pinkies are underneath the S slice when you do those F moves. And then from this angle. So remember, there are 8 cases, and I'll be showing alternatives for just a few of them. So firstly for this one, where it's the regrip into B moves, and this one, if you have it so that you're doing a lefty regrip, then a lot of people don't like that. So one thing you could do, which you may be able to figure out intuitively from my other video on a very similar cases, is you can do this, and that does set them up here, then you can just insert, but I don't find that to be reliable switching hands and doing wide moves. So a good alternative you have that is right hand dominant is if you do F first, either like this, or with the pinky thing, and then move this corner on top, bring this pair over, and that has to be done without a regrip like this, and then, yeah. So this algorithm done faster. So next I'll be showing an alternative for this case and its mirror. And the reason is because when you have to do these F moves, which are a little bit unreliable if you're not good at them like me, I think if you're good at them, it's probably fine. But having to use both of them in the same algorithm, I think is a little unreliable. So what I like to do for this case and its mirror is if you're right-handed, you probably should know how to do this finger trick. Then you have them set up as well, and you can end with your thumb going the other way because your dominant hand thumb should be able to do both of these moves. So the alternative trick for this case, faster. So next for the mirror case, if your other hand is not really capable of doing that, like because I'm dominant lefty, so I can do it, then what you can do is you can still avoid all these moves by doing a sledgehammer with your right hand to take this edge out over to here. So it's kind of the same thing as accomplishing F prime, except it preserves the cross edge. So sledgehammer like this, and then that sets it up. And the alternative trick for this case, faster. So that about covers it, and now you have no excuse for doing this F2L case in 2 rotations. That feels really bad now. So if for some reason you're watching this and you haven't learned F2L or advanced F2L, then check those out on the end screen. Also remember to learn the good finger tricks for these, otherwise these are not worth using, and you might as well do 2 rotations, or just either way is bad, and learn the finger tricks because the earlier you learn them, the better it will be later on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.